Go to this. Oh yeah, yeah.
How's it going? Run
There
it
you go.
over.
We'll light it on fire and
Thanks,
jump
Nick.
it.
Send it into the ocean.
Fucking jump my ATV.
Let me make sure my stories are.
Oh, it's so much better. That one,
Really?
Something. It was like the back was broken or something. Like the back of it was like sinking. I felt like I was sitting like this.
That
I think
chair.
about to launch.
You need to get a chair like him.
That
Freddie's
chair's
got a
cool.
killer chair.
I do have more of those. You have to go in the van to get one though.
I'm not.
I told them all. I was like,
Said every
yeah.
creepy guy.
I told them, I said, because I bought my Rolly. I got this for $5 at Goodwill, and I said, "Hey guys, I bought you a stand, a microphone, and headphones, but you got to get your own chair." And they're like, "Fuck that." Still no chairs. And then he steals my wife's chair.
I'll
give
you the chair.
Coming to you live from a makeshift tent under the 101 in Hollywood, California, it's Failing Hollywood. And I got a couple people here with me. I got Mikey Trudell
Hey guys.
and Billiam Gibson.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good.
Hey Freddie, you forgot to introduce yourself again.
Oh, I don't matter. And I'm Freddie Foot as well.
Ah, cool. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Fine. God.
A little hungover from last night.
What'd you do last night?
Went out drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the occasion?
Some random girl's birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know her, but I heard tale of bar crawl, so I
Really?
crawled my way.
This was one of Ezra's friends.
Yeah.
What
Where'd
was
you
her,
go?
What was her
Liz?
name?
Liz. She's a PA. You might know her.
I might know her.
I don't remember what they worked on together though.
Where'd you go?
We went tiki bars all throughout North Hollywood.
How was that?
Tiki No, I feel like was one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. They have
Yeah.
like karaoke and shit.
Yeah, and then there's one that was definitely like 60s, 70s era tiki bar. That was pretty rad.
Nice.
Yeah.
You wear your Hawaiian shirt?
Which one? I have 7. One for every day of the week.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it wasn't a tiki bar crawl, that's what you kind of
I
do.
just
huh?
showed up and they're like, "Oh, you dressed up," and I was like, "Yeah."
Awesome. Anything new with you, Bill?
Nope. No, not really. Just still working on that show Top Dog with the trained dogs.
Oh yeah.
Doing the obstacles.
With-
hanging out with Rachel a lot.
Nice.
We
Dog Ninja Warrior.
We went to this event for this designer. He's an artist. His name's Heavy Black, but it's just like HVYBLK, and he does like risque
Wait, what?
anime type of designs for like shirts and stuff.
By that you mean hentai?
Borderline hentai.
So he has a stage name for his design company.
Well, it's the name of his design company, I
Oh,
guess.
okay, that makes a
or
lot
maybe
more
it's the artist name too.
Yeah.
Like how I'm one-armed ninja.
yeah.
Heavy Black, but HVYBLK.
It's pretty cool. I'll have to check that dude out.
Yeah, check him out. His stuff is pretty cool. Other than that, not much since the last you heard from me. Mikey, how's everything been with you? I know we neglected to ask the last few episodes, so I'm asking.
Yeah, Mikey was real salty about that.
It's like no one ever asks about me.
It's okay. I'm just the host. No big deal or anything.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah, we agree with you, Mikey. No big deal.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about our stats actually. We've been doing pretty good in our ratings, I'd say, for having only like a few episodes out. But we jump into this map and it's pretty cool. There's like this. There's the website that we run everything through has this kind of map where you can see where everybody you have listening. So people around the world, we're about to call you the fuck out. We have a listener in the Philippines. Yeah, one listener in the Philippines.
I'm assuming it was an accidental click.
Probably because they came around for the first episode and they have not been back. They have not downloaded anything else.
He's just like, "Oh, this is trash."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the chances that they speak English over there, there's like a lot of different dialects in the Philippines because it's like a ton of different islands. So
Yeah, and we're blowing the fuck up in Canada. We have a whole 4 people in Ontario, Canada, man.
Whoa.
3 of those downloads have been just within the past couple weeks too. So, yeah, I guess shout out to Canada. But let's bring things back to our home base. This is the most interesting one is the United States, and I was giving Bill a little bit of flack earlier because out in New Jersey for like our first 2 episodes drop, we didn't have one single listener in New Jersey. New Jersey. Nick can't find New Jersey on the fucking map. It's under New York, man. No, down right there.
Well, here's the thing
Man,
about
geographic things.
my New Jersey connections.
Yeah.
I've burnt a lot of bridges. Also, a lot of people that I was very close with moved out of the state. So,
As you do when you live in New Jersey.
yeah. My hometown is basically destroyed by now.
So basically, or pretty much, you're hated. I didn't say it. I didn't finish it. Damn it. So pretty much, you're hated in New Jersey.
No, not hated. Maybe forgotten.
The funnest activity to do in New Jersey is to leave New Jersey.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't. So they have 3 choices. You can either have some kids and get married. You can get heavily addicted to drugs and then die, or you go to jail. Choose wisely.
We were giving him some shit for it just because, like, after our first episode dropped, or our first couple episodes dropped, right now I'm looking at it. We already have like 63 downloads alone in California. I have not met like one person in California other than our little circle that we have here that has actually listened or told me that they've listened to it yet. So I'm hoping that's a little bit outsourced from just industry people, maybe.
Are you looking for
India. No, we don't have any listeners there yet.
No.
But anyways, what I was getting at, we're from New England. We're from New Hampshire, and between New Hampshire and Massachusetts, we have like almost 40 downloads. So New England is coming to play, man. New England is staying strong with us. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming in. But we also have some like really random ones. New York is obviously up there. We have a good amount there, but we have Minnesota, I think. It is no, go up. What's that? Michigan. It's Michigan. Oh man,
I feel like these numbers are all very low, but I like how excited you get about it.
I am because I don't know anybody in Michigan.
I don't think anybody knows anybody outside of
I know-
Michigan.
I know
that
people in
lives
Montana.
inside
I know
Michigan.
people in Michigan, actually.
Your people.
Like I said, how everyone left Jersey. A very good friend of mine that I grew up with lives in Michigan. He's a genius. He's actually the person who builds my video game controllers.
He's a genius, and
He's a
he
genius.
thought moving to Michigan was a good idea.
Well, he's an engineer. He's an engineer for General Motors, but he builds my my video game controllers because I don't know if the listeners know, I play video games with one hand because my left arm got destroyed many years ago. We'll get into that one day, but that's why.
That's why he's a one-armed ninja.
And then I met a friend through him who I'm really close with, who's also an engineer, but he works on other shit.
How much are you paying for these controllers?
0.
How much are you paying people for these downloads?
I pay with the power of friendship.
Yeah, other states.
Is it like a San Francisco style friendship?
If you mean,
You take
was that
care of them?
rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat? Yes, I'm making them delicious rice meals.
Other states that are big that we come up, we also have like South Dakota, Arkansas, Montana. Thanks, guys. Keep listening. So we'll try to get back to that. But today's a really important episode. Our guest, she's somebody that we talked about on our first episode about getting, and man, you put it out in the universe and it just kind of comes into your lap, and I'm so pumped to have this guest.
And this is how it happened. My friend Camille, who's super awesome, she was a suicide girl. She's owns an edible company. She listened to the first episode,
us.
and she texted
Send
me.
us a box of drugs.
Hi, 1 box of drugs, please. But she texts me. She goes, "Hey, I actually know her. She's a good friend of mine." And Here she is, Snake Bitch herself.
Snake Bitch, welcome to the podcast.
And
Thank you, guys.
what's
Yeah.
your real name though?
yeah.
Snake Bitch is part of my middle name. I
Okay.
legally had it added about 2.5 years ago. Full legal name is Marissa K. Snake Bitch Swear John.
So that's on your like license?
Passport, license, social security, first speeding ticket.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So what did the cop say when he looked at your
He was a little shocked. I got it out here off of Soledad.
Oh.
And I was jamming to try and get to one of the movie ranches. And I was running a little bit behind. In Hollywood, you have if you're not 15 minutes early shit,
Yeah.
you're late.
Yep.
Well, I was going to be that not 15 minutes early
Yeah.
shit. I wasn't going to be late, but I was going to miss that buffer. So I'm hauling ass. I jump out onto Soledad. I'm racing. I come around, and there's the cop. And I see him. He's a motorcycle sheriff in Canyon
Yep.
Country, and those guys are notorious.
Yeah.
And I see him doing his happy little dance around the motorcycle, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in a gold truck with personalized plates. Let's just pull over.
Yeah.
So I signal to him, I'm pulling over, and I literally slow myself down, put it in park, and I roll down my window. I have my driver's license waiting for him, and he just walks up to the truck, the passenger side window, and says, "You're doing 63 and a 50." And I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. Here you go. Let's
get this on.
let's get this going so I'm not totally fucking late to work. And he's a little taken back that I'm just not giving any lame excuses. And he's asking where I'm going, what I'm going to do. And I tell him, I work for the studios. I'm going to this movie ranch. And he's like, what do you do for the studios? And I go, I'm a snake wrangler. And just blankness comes across his face, and he's looking at me, and I go, actually, if you look on my driver's license, I had Snake Bitch added to it legally. And he kind of looks down, and he just does this full body shudder of he cannot believe this shit. He takes it, and he goes, I'll be right back. And I had already said, I can get my other shit that you need, my, proof of insurance and
Right.
all that fun crap. He's like, no, just give me the details. And so he runs back to see if the fucking license is legit. He's there for 5-10 minutes, and he comes back, and he's got the paper wrapped around the ticket, wrapped around the license. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he goes, look, I cannot physically stop this shit once I've started it, and I started as soon as I pulled you over. I'm like, okay, yeah, no worries. It's been a while.
Meaning that he would have let you off if he hadn't already done it?
Well, because it's electronic, you can't
Right.
stop this
Yeah, of
shit,
course.
and you got to start it as soon as you pull somebody over
Yeah.
or
Thanks
whatever.
a lot, robots.
However, he then goes, you were really cool. And I'm going to tell you something that I never tell anybody. And he clicks off his little helmet camera. And I'm like, what the fuck is going down?
You're about to get your ass
Yeah.
beat.
Jesus, where's the fucking taser?
He's like, actually, I'm a snake.
Yeah. Then he proceeds to tell me.
I'm 200 snakes making one human body. We've been after you for a while now.
You got me. So, no, he proceeds to tell me how to get out of the ticket. And I'll be damned if it did not work. I have a refund check
What?
from the courthouse in Canyon Country for the amount
my
of the
God.
bail.
Nice.
It was amazing. And I still have that fucking ticket. I am literally going to frame it.
I would frame it.
Oh, yeah, because
Nice.
it says on it, Marissa K. Snake Bitch Swear John.
That's fucking
That's so
awesome.
Oh, Jesus. Really? I already got 2. It's the vodka.
Listen, officer,
Yeah.
I'm late, but the snakes are never late.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was. You were really. We got her number and we texted her to come by to the podcast, and we texted her the address of our studio space, our garage, and she's like, I live on that same fucking road. She was like, oh, okay, pretty easy to get a guess when you can almost just walk here.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It was hot out. I wasn't going to walk.
No, it's like 100 degrees out today. It's hot as fuck. But anyways, I want to get more into. We're going to get back to your name and changing it in that story in a second. But I want you to let everybody know what it is you actually do.
So I essentially, for the studios, when we're out in shitty locations, I am the one person who walks around and makes certain that, the cast and crew and production have a safe working environment. So I'm looking for shit like yellow jackets, beehives, poison oak, rattlesnakes, snakes in general, and just making sure that, you know, production's done all they can do. If there's an issue, I try and rectify it. We don't remove, you know, yellow jackets or bees. We just kind of curb their behavior
Right.
with certain little industry tricks that I've come up with over the years. But essentially, I walk around in circles all fucking day long with my head low with what most people think is a machete strapped to my back. So I look like I have issues. It's actually not a machete. It's a collapsible net bag engineered specifically for, you know, detaining snakes of various kinds, but it looks like I have a fucking machete.
So you don't carry around the bucket that I see sometimes?
Oh,
dude?
dear God, no. Fuck the bucket. Fuck the bucket.
I see half the snake wranglers carrying around buckets
Amateurs.
half the day. Really?
Amateurs.
No
all of
way.
My guys, all of my guys carry the collapsible net bag. The thing is I've tried for years trying to carry a bucket, devising different ways of how to carry a bucket. There's no easy way of carrying one that does not make you want to suck the end of a shotgun at the end of the day. It's hitting the back of your calves. It's hitting you. You just got to work more. I mean, buckets belong in the trucks or
Yeah.
in your vehicle.
I think they're just using it mostly to have a seat to sit on every once in a while.
The van. I do not like those guys.
Yeah.
I fight a lot of productions because they get tired of the snake wrangler sitting and not doing shit.
Right.
So, my guys are movers and shakers.
So you're not limited to snakes then?
No. We're animal trainers with $3.99. So we've already worked a lot of shit under the rainbow. So we're bringing all of that experience and all of our knowledge of, like, you know, American Humane laws and
Right.
state and federal guidelines,
Yeah.
blah, blah bullshit, and trying to help get a production through this shit as unscathed as possible.
So do you then so you're keeping the set safe?
Yes.
As a snake wrangler, have you ever been hired to like have an on-screen snake in the movie or the TV show and stuff like that?
That's how I got my start. I was an animal trainer first before I did this shit.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
What animals did you train?
A little bit of everything. I didn't really do the big carns. I didn't do like the primates. Not really that much into hoofstock, but a lot of dog, cat stuff, birds of prey, a lot of venomous, non-venomous,
Wow.
snake action in front. We did snakes on a plane.
You did snakes on a plane?
Fuck yeah.
Bullshit.
Dude, okay.
Fuck you. You
Yeah.
did snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a motherfucking plane.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was actually,
They had real snakes all through that movie?
Yeah, well, we shot with some real snakes, and then when they saw that they weren't nearly as scary as they needed them to be, they're like, you know what, you guys just do a lot of promo for this film.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be there for the, the interviews and all that shit, and we'll shoot some stuff, but we're going to digitize most of this stuff because
Yeah.
your shit sucks.
How do you go about training a snake?
It's more manipulation. You just
Yeah.
kind of know a little bit like how to feed it in and, you know, how to get it to do some stuff. But it's not like you're standing there with a clicker and going to toss
Yeah.
it like a little Scooby snack.
Excuse me, Snake. Can
Yeah.
you stand up a little?
Yeah.
I can imagine you sitting there with the basket with your little flute.
Yeah. No, for snakes, I mean, there was one time they came to me and you guys have seen me. I'm not a tiny, petite little chick. They came up to me and they said, Marissa, you're the smallest one on our crew. We have a job for you. And I thought, oh, that's fantastic. That's so sweet. And then you realize, holy fuck, what does this entail? And it was, we're going to shove you in an overhead luggage compartment. We're going to close the door. We're going to shake the fucking plane. We're going to put a very expensive camera underneath you. And then your action is when the O2 masks drop, you feed a couple fucking snakes down.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, no. Thank God we did this shit when it was like the older overhead cabinets because the smaller, the new ones are
Yeah.
tiny as fuck.
There's no space up
There's
there.
no
anymore.
There's no
Oh my
space. So yeah, I literally, and I asked them, I go, what is my cue? And they said, when you see light. And meanwhile, they gave me like a fucking towel to like cushion my head while they shook the plane on the gimbal. And they're like, here you go.
And did they jammed you up there with a couple of snakes?
Yeah, they were
And the plane-
non-venomous.
And the plane was on they had the whole fuselage on a gimbal?
No, they basically built the interior of the snake. So of the plane.
Of the
Then
plane,
we
yeah.
had, God damn it, seriously, four?
I heard 2 in the last
This is some
paragraph.
bullshit.
Yeah.
they built the interior of a plane on a soundstage, and they actually had it
okay.
on gimbal. And so you had this sadistic little special effects guy that he's an awesome man, but he would just sit there and giggle, and he had a whole joystick situation going on, and he would just shake it and make the thing vibrate and drop, and it was good times.
Yeah, for those of you at home, a gimbal is like a little thing that makes the plane bump remote. They do it with cars, they do it with airplanes, they do it with all kinds of
Cameras.
things.
Basically simulation.
Yeah, it's a simulator.
So basically, he's like just shucking and jiving this plane, and you're in an extremely closed space with a bunch of fucking snakes.
Yeah, well, just two, and then
just
we went on top of the plane for another shoot, and we're sitting there and basically straddling, building structures. Damn it!
You'll get better at it, I
brought
promise.
you Jameson and 805.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not paying.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. You're
So
doing
yeah,
good.
we had to sit there and do even more feed throughs a little bit later in the show.
That's fucking
And you're riding
awesome.
it like a rodeo.
Yeah.
A little bit more, less confined than when you're in an overhead luggage compartment.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the beginning. Where did you grow up?
Glendale, Arizona.
Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah.
So is working with snakes, I guess, or animals in general, is that something that you immediately knew what you always wanted to do that and got right into it, or?
I didn't know. I knew either I wanted to work with video games.
That's not even close.
No.
Wow.
Or I thought I might have the talent to be a stunt person, but turns out I'm not coordinated or have any kind of gymnastic ability.
So you can fall, but
Yeah.
you can't.
I fall, but it's just because I have issues, not talent.
Yeah.
And no, and then we went to SeaWorld, and my mom knew through her sorority that she went to when she was in college, one of the trainers at the Dolphin, and her name is Tracy. And so Tracy kind of talked to me about Moore Park College, and it's this little community college in Moore Park, California.
Yeah.
And they've got the only exotic animal training and management program in the world.
And you wanted to specifically do like crazier animals.
I wanted to, when you're growing up in Glendale, Arizona, your hobbies as a kid are either drugs, sex, maybe some work, and then going to like a movie theater and, in the coolness and watching all this fun shit.
Oh, it sounds like New Jersey.
I
Yeah,
was just
pretty
going
much.
to say that sentence.
Yeah. And so, a lot
Were
of
there
people.
a lot of rattlesnakes there, real quick? Were there a lot of rattlesnakes there?
Oh,
though?
I'm sure there were. I wasn't fucking looking for them.
You didn't see any
No.
though.
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just like, it's a part of your kid. You were bit by a rattlesnake, and
Dear
then all
God,
of a
no.
sudden, you're like, yes,
I never wanted.
I will get revenge.
Yeah, I will make you my bitch.
Yeah,
shall hunt
my
thee.
snake bitch.
I shall dedicate my life.
No, I really did not. If you would have told me 20, 30 years ago, this is what I'd be doing for a living, I would have thought you were high as a motherfucker. I wanted to either work with animals for studios, or my real passion was working at SeaWorld.
Wow.
But SeaWorld, there was only a limited amount of parks,
Right.
and there's only so many spots, and you got to do the math.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably better that you didn't stick with SeaWorld.
Mikey's not good at math.
I'm not good at math. I'm not good at numbers.
everybody's got their strong point.
Yeah.
Video games. Are you still a big gamer?
No, not really. Mm-mm.
So you
No,
fell out
but
of
I
that
did
hard-
just get a bitchin' arcade system put in my house by the guys that I hire to cover shows that I can't fill in on. And it's
cool.
all the circa 1980s shit.
Nice.
Yeah. So you got like Frogger, Dig Dug, Centipede, Galaga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Classics.
it's all on one like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
arcade style.
Oh, yeah. It's a wall mount. It's sexy as a motherfucker.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so you went to school for that. You wanted to work with animals. When you came out, what did you start doing? Did you?
I started like most people do. Start at the bottom, cleaning animals at different ranches that provide
Out here,
animals.
or-
Yeah.
So you moved out to Wait,
I moved out to California, Moore Park.
Moore Park. That's right.
Backwards, Moore Park is spelled crap room. Just throwing that one out.
I never thought
Good
of
to
that.
know.
Yeah.
I'll put that in my
Can you
arsenal.
find crap room college shirts anywhere?
I think there's a niche. We need to fill that shit.
Yeah.
No, I started like everybody else, just cleaning, starting off at the bottom, working your way up, learning the stuff.
Yeah.
So, and
So-
then eventually one of the ranches I worked for, there was
The movie ranches, or yeah, okay.
The ranch that I worked for at the time had a little bit of dogs, cats, some birds, some exotics. We had like kangaroos, beavers, camels, all that shit. There was a snake job and an insect job that came up. My boss said, look, in this business, you have to know a little bit of everything, or else if you just say you're a dog trainer, you're going to fucking starve. So he's like, I would send you out on this job, but you don't know snakes. So I started working for the guy that I mentored under for quite some time, Jim, and I learned a lot of shit from him.
Right.
So, and it was amazing. We did a lot of stuff. We did like, Tonight Show. I mean, you name it, we pretty much did it.
Oh, so you guys were wearing full khaki outfits?
Yeah,
and
we
going-
look like deranged zookeepers. Yeah, absolutely.
So
My
Jim,
favorite kind.
so Jim planted the seed, basically.
Dave Plant.
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
phrase
you
that.
got to catch up because I think
I know.
I'm down to like 6,
Yeah.
and everybody else is at 1.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So
maybe
Have
don't
another-
use
you
the
want another
phrase
shot?
that
Do you want
Jim
another
planted
shot?
The seed again.
I think you guys need shots.
Thanks for reminding
I
me.
got mine.
Actually, I poured one in here and I didn't drink it. I forgot because we got into like all this talk.
Oh, he wants a shot of Jameson, or does he
you
have
want
to
a shot
call
of
in
Jameson,
to get that
Nick?
shit?
Yeah, you got to call in because otherwise you don't. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you a shot of Jameson, Nick. So let's keep going though. So that happened.
Yeah, that was probably 2000.
Okay.
And so I started working for a gentleman by the name of Jim.
So did you start snake wrangling right away with that and doing all
No.
those shows, or is it just like what was the Tonight Show? What was all that stuff? Were you wrangling on that show, or was it just it was more keeping and like on camera stuff?
Well, it was all on camera shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple of times we would be on a show working a cobra or a rattlesnake for on-camera purposes, and a producer would come up, and a producer that gave a shit about their crew and was trying to be proactive and would tap my boss, Jim, on the shoulder and say, hey, we see what you handle. We see you're safe. You're very knowledgeable. We're going to have our crew out in a horrible location. Do you mind sending one of your guys? So that's kind of how that shit all started. And it's just been a slow buildup over the years.
Yeah, you're pretty famous actually in the film community. Most people, I don't care who you are, if you work in the industry, they have heard your name before, whether you have worked with them or not.
It's literally because I made it to the point where you can say bitch and you're not going to end up in HR.
So that's where I want to get on. So how did the nickname Snake Bitch come into play?
It's something someone came up with years ago, and I just
And
kind
you
of
loved it.
I absorbed it like a sponge. For years, I was going by Snake Bitch, and it was on season 3 of Drunk History.
Oh wow,
One
this is
of-
recent then.
No, I think we're in like our 6th or 7th
Yeah,
season.
they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Recent within 5 or 6 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mikey's wife has worked on Drunk History a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jackie's. I think she worked on the 3rd season. She
I
worked
think
on
she
the
worked
5th.
on last season,
I think
too.
she worked on last season too. Yeah.
Because we were talking about some of the same shit.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where I was going by it, and one of my location buddies, Paul, he walked into one of the rooms at the location we were filming at, and the set deck girls were a little concerned by a situation. Like they
Okay.
wanted to make certain that the area was safe, even though I'd already checked it.
Right.
And Paul just was not really thinking and goes, yeah, just whatever, have Snake Bitch take it. And he like drops the mic, walks the fuck out of the room. And unbeknownst to me, 5 minutes later, I walk in to do a round, and I've already done multiple rounds, but I'm
Right.
keeping up the pace. I walk in and instantly have that feeling I need to be the fuck out of here because there's something heavy going on. And all 4 of the chicks
It's just a
look at
weird
me.
vibe.
Yeah, they look at me, and I was like, instantly turn around, and I go to leave, and they go, wait, don't go. This involves you. And I'm like,
Oh, what did I do?
exactly. I was like, I just fucking walked in. And they go, you know that location guy, Paul? And I go, yeah, I know Paul. Paul's my homie. And they said, yeah, well, he just called you Snake Bitch. And I go, and your point is, that's my nickname. Now, back it up. What they're doing in this room is they're literally hanging like old style posters. So they've got these little handheld staples. And I really feel if he had not turned around and walked the fuck out, he may have been stapled to a fucking wall, because that seemed to be how this shit was going.
It sounds like they wanted to destroy this guy.
They were looking out for you because they didn't know any better.
They had no clue. And as soon as I told them Snake Bitch is a nickname, I encourage it, I go by it, 3 out of the 4 were cool with that answer. The one was like, I don't think you should. That's not very,
but
good.
That's me. Yeah.
And she was kind of like that extremist where I'm like, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I was like, all right, I need to do something about this.
Right.
Other people have stage names. Queen Latifah, she's talented, but in no right is she really a queen. NWA, we know what that stands for.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have a stage presence. I can't get a stage name. Fuck it. Let's try and make this a legal thing. And so that's kind of where we went. And to my surprise, George Melvin of the Chatsworth Court District signed off on it. And here we go.
What were their faces when you went in and
George.
you're like, I want to change my name to this? Did they there's no guidelines to be like, can I go in there tomorrow and be like, I want to change my name to Mike fucking Trudell?
I don't see why not. I mean,
Really?
I originally went in thinking I could do this shit on my own. And I went in, I found a day where I had like business hours. I went into the court system, grabbed the paperwork, spent like the $11, and went out and tried to fill it out on my
It
own.
only costs $11?
Well, the paperwork does. The paperwork does.
What are you
New
changing
name
your
every
name
month.
to, Freddie?
Freddie motherfucker.
Freddie motherfucking Foot.
I think I've always wanted to change my name to Diamond Dick, so I might just do that.
That's true. When I think
like it.
Mikey sent me your info at the what was it? Was that a year ago already?
Probably.
When he sent
No, about a year and a half.
he like
Yeah.
when you on iPhones you just like send the contact. It came to me as Freddie Diamond Dick Foot, and I was
You
like,
were in my contacts for some reason. I think it pulled because your Facebook used to be Frederick Diamond Dick Foot.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know, iPhones had this weird thing where it just automatically took, like, it linked to Facebook and it, like, redid all your contacts
it
for that.
synced your contacts to the Facebook.
Yeah, so you had that, and then I didn't realize it till after like he had moved out here, and he's like, I'm looking for work contacts. Like, so I'm sending his work contact to people, and I'm sending out Frederick
Freddie,
Diamond Dick Foot.
Dick Foot.
Yeah,
And
That's awesome.
Luckily, Bill responded.
yeah.
He was intrigued. He was intrigued.
I was like, well, actually, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, actually,
A Diamond Dick Foot.
we need free unpaid labor, so I'll take Diamond Dick. I'll take anybody.
He sounds like he has low standards.
That's right. That's
and
right.
cheap.
That first thing that I brought you onto, it was you were supposed to be a PA. It was like a music video. Fuck, what is his name? Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Floyd from Teen Wolf. He was a set dresser, but he was directing a music video, and he wanted me to be his first assistant director. I hired Freddie to be a PA. However, he kind of just took over props on that, which was pretty cool.
Literally been working in the industry for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think your response to that text message was, "Is that his real name?" And I was
his
like,
middle name?
I was like, "Yeah, his name's Freddie Foot. It's a funny name. I get it." And I like kind of looked back at it. I was like, "Oh,
It's like, yeah, is his
No.
middle name Diamond Dick?
yeah."
Were his parents pro wrestlers?
Yeah. Okay, before we get too far off, I want to get back to this. Has changing the name helped on set with the PR? Has it solved your problem?
Let's not lie. It's Hollywood, so the more of a fuck up you are, the higher up you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're pretty much the king of the snake wrangling community right now.
you run your own team now, right?
yeah,
From what
I
you
got my
said?
own team. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've started doing this shit on my own, like about 2009, 2011. And we keep getting busier and busier every year. And honestly, it's like what you said earlier. You got some of your snake wranglers sit on a bucket and don't do shit. We're out there,
Yeah.
we're doing shit, we're checking on our PAs, you know, whether or not they're doing karate at a fucking lockup because they're fucking high off their ass.
You just perfectly described Bill.
We bring them a water, we give them a flashlight,
Yeah.
and make sure that, you know, they can see what the fuck is about to eat their ass as they're doing their air moves.
That's
good.
So we're more proactive
Yeah.
and reactive than your average.
It's funny you say that. Every snake wrangler I've worked with is literally, what would be the word?
A
like,
piece of shit.
Well, no, they wait until somebody's like, oh, I went to go take a piss offset like 10 feet, and there was a snake 5 feet from me.
Yeah.
And then he'll get up off the bucket and be like, oh, okay, I'll go get it.
Yeah, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just a king snake. You're good.
I mean,
you're good.
The realistic look at it is that we can't be everywhere where we.
Yeah.
You know, where the crew is. There is so many. You have sometimes your shows have 60 people, sometimes they have 300 people.
Yeah.
You can only do your best by doing rounds.
You get called in and you remove it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I mean, like, you know, you still gotta look. If you're not there when it pops up, you know, they call you on Milwaukee.
do you lure them out of like the holes and stuff like that?
No,
Or-
you
have
can't.
to-
You just gotta sit
You
there
can't
and
do that.
wait
You have
for
to wait
those
for it.
fuckers. Yeah.
Okay, I only have a couple more questions. I have one big one. What is the craziest snake day you've ever had on set? Has there been like one
Ooh.
that comes to mind that's
What's
just
your
like
record for most snakes?
your
pulled?
record for most?
Jesus. I mean, in the past, it's been 3 in one day, and
Wow.
you're like a legend. I mean, it's
Yeah.
usually when we do a lot of these things, it's 20% we find what we're looking for, and then we find other shit. You know, sometimes bears, sometimes bobcats, sometimes
Whoa.
yellow jackets, bees.
You found bobcats?
Yeah,
Bobcat
the bear.
goldways?
The bear was fun.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you know, she said bear before bobcat, right?
Oh, I fucked with bears before. I'm good.
Okay, well, this one wasn't trained with like Oreos. I'm just throwing this one out.
I haven't told this story on the podcast before. I'm not going to tell it right now, but I'm just going to. I'll tell you after. I was attacked by a grizzly bear once in Alberta, Canada, like in my tent sleeping at night, and it was one of the
I know that
craziest.
story. You told me about
It's
that.
one of the crazy. I will tell it on the podcast when we don't have such a full day, but
Holy
let's
shit.
put that story in the back burner.
Let's go
I'll
back
tell
to
you
your
after.
bear.
Yeah. I want to talk
Well,
about that.
I mean, I would say one of the funniest times on set I've had was not necessarily doing snake wrangling. It was when I was still in animal training. And we were doing a Land Rover, Range Rover commercial where we're in downtown LA and these alligators got to come crawling out of the sewer. Now, I'm just a back.
Holy shit!
This isn't-
Real alligators?
Yes. So this isn't my show. I'm literally just, a
Helping.
below the neck
Right.
type, person. And myself and my co-trainer at the time, Carl, we're basically the young backs. So my boss, Jim, and then the guy who had this show, Jules, we're trying to get this work, and it's supposed to be this alligator crawling around the streets of downtown LA with people in business suits and shit like that. They call and they say, okay, we want to use 2 of your guys because we can't have anybody else near it. So, okay, cool. We send in our measurements, and Carl and I spend a whole day trying to figure out what the fuck size we wear because we just normally wear XL t-shirts and shit.
Right.
And we send in our info not once but twice. We get there day of. I don't know where the fuck these measurements went.
Yeah.
But they did not go to the wardrobe department. And we've all seen wardrobe. They're very prepared. They've, clothed a lot of different sizes, a lot of PAs over the years. They did not have anything ready for us. And they were shocked by our size. I'm not husky. I'm not
Right.
petite. I'm a slightly husky chick.
Right.
And the first option they put up next to me was about a third of my size. So I didn't know how the fuck I was going to get this on. Like one arm, maybe a head, but the rest of my body's not going in there. They go through their repertoire shit. They try and find stuff to fit myself and Carl. They make do with whatever. At one point, he has got his pants finagled in such a way that he cannot lift up his shirt because you will see shit. It's that bad. And they throw me into the guy suit because that's the closest thing they have to my size. But most guys that you see on camera are actually very tiny.
Right.
Unless you're dealing with like Nicolas Cage, The Rock, etc. So they throw me into a guy's suit. It is still very uncomfortable. We've got to be bending over, picking up this 400-pound alligator all day long, stuck in shit. It's got to be dressed in this gelatinous, non-toxic goo because it's crawling out of the sewers.
So you
We're
gotta be
doing
all
this.
grimy.
Oh, we're all grimy.
Slick.
But we still got to be camera ready.
Right.
Halfway through the day, you feel this lint roller on your back, and you know it's the costume department.
Right.
By this point, myself and Carl are completely covered head to toe on the front side of this gelatinous goo. We are not camera ready at all. Like, they cannot shoot us at all. The first AD will not let us change out of this entire. He still thinks we're going to be seen on camera. And we're sitting there going, dude, there's no fucking way. Can we at least change into something more comfortable for us to wrestle and wrangle this alligator? So at one point, the alligator walks down the sidewalk. It starts from point A, goes to point B. We stop. We pick up the alligator at point B, and we're on the verge of moving it back to point A. The first AD says, camera up, sound speed, everybody move them back to 1. Myself and Carl are on the sides. I am on the side facing camera. Jim and Jules are respectively at the tail and the head side. We go 1, 2, 3. And in unison, we're going to, on 3, pick up the fucking gator, walk it back to 1, turn it loose, and hopefully it goes back to, the end point. On 3, we all go to pick up. And at this point, my crotch eats the pants, and I totally expose myself towards camera. And we cannot stop fucking laughing. We can't pick up the fucking gator. The AD is losing his shit because we are not doing what he wanted to. We can't even pick up this gator.
That is not at all where I thought this story was going.
No. It took a wicked fucked up turn. Yeah. The vodka kicked in. But yeah, no, I mean, and that was one of those things where you just return it back to wardrobe, and they said "fuck you, animal trainers," and threw it away because the front is completely destroyed with the gelatinous dyed goo that we were putting on the gator.
Yeah, you got it a lot worse than wardrobe did. Fuck that.
Oh yeah.
Production can pay for torn pants.
Oh fuck yeah. So that was pretty fun for mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel really bad for Range Rover having to pay for pants.
Yeah. I don't know how they'll survive.
No. And my last question, have you ever witnessed somebody getting bitten by a rattlesnake or a venomous snake?
Thank God, no.
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 And how long have you been doing this?
A very long time.
What's the protocol? What's the protocol?
I've got if somebody gets bit.
Yeah, someone gets bit.
You
Medic.
guys have shots?
No.
It's medic's problem.
Yeah. You go 911.
Medic.
911. No, the most part
I
can
get
tell
rid
them.
of the snakes.
Yeah.
It was my job when the snake was over there.
Yeah.
Now that it's on your leg, it's that guy's job.
And the medic's just over there. I brought ibuprofen. Is that
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about all this time that you're doing this job and no one has gotten bit.
Yeah.
Is probably because you never stop looking for snakes and getting them away from people.
It is slightly neurotic. Yeah. I mean, look, let's not lie. The more you get in your car and you drive, the greater chance you have of being in an accident.
Oh, yeah.
The more of these shows that I get and do and cover, the greater chance I do have of somebody stumbling upon it. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
And that's why we try and be as proactive as possible. But, luckily, thus far, it has not happened.
Have you ever Googled your name or just snake bitch?
Yeah, and a lot of rap references come up, and yeah, it's kind of slightly, I believe, pornographic.
Yeah, I
But
did
I'm
it.
taking it back, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so the image that I saw, I may have been more specific about the Google search, but it's just this badass picture of you behind a truck, just holding up this gnarly
No shit.
rattlesnake.
Really?
Yeah, holding
Oh
it.
yeah, with your
My
the
tongs
stick.
and-
With your
Yeah,
tongs,
tongs and
yeah.
hook.
Hold on, I saved the picture. I'll show it out.
No, I'm assuming to wrangle these snakes, you do not play a flute.
No.
to get them to come out.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? That was on Google.
That was on Google?
Yeah, that was on Google. We'll post it to our Instagram. You say how badass she looks just holding this mean fucking gnarly ass rattlesnake.
I'm trying to figure out when the fuck that was based off my vape.
I know, that's what I noticed too. I was like, there's like
That
a
looks
vape
like
hang-
circa 3 years ago. I'm just going to throw that one
Let's
out
play
there.
a new game show, Date That Vape.
Yeah. Because I haven't used a vape clip in like 4 years.
Yeah, just hanging off your
So-
belt. Where do you keep it now? You have a holster for it?
Yeah, it was funny. I worked on a movie, and one of the grip guys who was assigned to the canvas room, he sews together all the canvases for the blue screens and whatnot.
Oh, beautiful.
We were bullshitting over a lunch, and he had a really shitty day, and apparently my conversation with him made him happy. He looked at the bag that I have for my machete/net bag and said, "This looks like shit. Come to my room and come to the canvas room and I'll make you something." So he made me something. He made a specially tailored bag. And I said, "Dude, I'm looking to get more of these made for my guys because the original bag that comes with it is not meant for everyday heavy use."
Right.
And so he said, "Fantastic, we can do this." And so, okay, great. And I gave him my ideas. And he told me where to go get the material. He's like, "This is a really cool pattern." And it was like an alligator crocodile pattern, but it's from Beverly's or Joann's. So people now, when they see my bag, they think I like slayed some fucking gator or crocodile and made a bag out of it.
You should go with that. Be
Yeah,
like,
I just like bursting bubbles and fucking their day up. And I'm like, no,
when
dude.
I was in the swamps of Florida
I'm like,
in
no,
the
it was,
Everglades.
I had a coupon. It was half off at Joann's.
I'm gonna go to Joann's and get enough fabric to make a suit.
I did
want
a backflip
full
off an
fucking
airboat.
three-piece.
Yeah, you
bear
should.
suit.
It's either Joann's or Beverly's. It's off of Golden Valley, road right next to Dick's.
Okay, I'll just drive around until I see a naked man, and
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pull in and be like, "Hey, where's the crocodile fabric?"
Try Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, that probably would be a little easier. So do you have any fail stories or anything crazy that's happened on set to you?
Other
You'd
than
like to talk about?
all the crocodile
Yeah, you
shit.
already gave a couple actually, and just talking around.
It's just been, it's been a fun ride. I mean, a lot of times I'm basically walking around in circles all day long, like I got issues,
Yeah.
and checking grown men pee-pee spots. That is the reality of my life.
I'm sure you walked into a lot of that. I think
I have, yep.
Yeah, I'm sure
And there's the oh shit look from both of us. There have been times I've had to yell at guys going into the woods, "Stop going. I just want to be within earshot when you scream."
Yeah. I think the one show I worked on Heather. I think Heather's is the only show that's coming up that I've worked on that you were on, and I remember seeing you just vigilantly, like under the bridge by the stream, just going crazy, just searching everywhere. I was like, okay, she doesn't fuck around.
That was also because the director was freaking out.
Really?
Because we had these goddamn tree frogs that kept
Yeah.
ripping sounds through takes.
Yeah.
And so it was now my hassle to try and find these frogs, catch them, put them in a bucket, and get them off set.
Do they shut up when you put them in the bucket? Or do
Yeah,
they...
well, you can get them further away from the fucking microphones
Yeah,
that are so sensitive. The sound department was losing their shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
And, we were shooting, it was like a Friday, so everybody's tired. Nobody wants to wait for frogs.
Was that Disney Ranch?
No, that was Calamigos.
Calamigos, yeah.
But we've also done that. I've done that at Disney Ranch.
Because
Shut up,
I worked
frogs.
I'm here, frogs. Come on. Yeah, because I worked on Heather's a bunch on and off, and we shot at the Disney Ranch in that fake neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
That they have, like that big cul-de-sac.
Yeah, residential district.
Yeah.
Let's
for
go
the-
back to these Disney frogs, though.
Well,
Were they interrupting the sound with "Stand by Me"? You remember? I wish I had that. I wish we had it up. You don't remember the beginning of fucking Lion King when they're singing "Stand by Me" with Timon and Pumbaa?
What the fuck were you smoking when you
Yeah.
watched that shit?
I think you're
No.
mixing up
Yeah.
three separate things.
I know. Stand by Me is a different movie. Lion King is. right? That's how that
No,
movie
it's
opens.
the beginning of the line.
Yeah, Timon and Pumbaa don't come in until like the third act.
Nick, can you Google Stand By Me
Fourth
Lion
act?
King?
Oh.
Just to prove these fuckers
It
wrong.
might be a sad disappointment.
Oh, it's not. Trust me. I know my Lion King.
You just doing
Is
an
it
intro?
like the new live action Lion King, or we're talking?
no,
old
that's not
legit
out yet.
school?
You wouldn't have seen that. Yeah, they only have like the new trailer.
There you go. Click
Yep.
it. Click
Yeah,
on that.
It's literally right there.
Oh, that's not the
Those-
intro
those
though.
aren't
That's the beginning of the
frogs,
song.
though. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's not frogs.
It finishes up with frogs.
Look at this
Does it?
advertisement.
They hit it at the end. They bring it home, if you will.
Oh, okay.
This is what was interrupting sound during the shooting of Heathers.
Holy shit! The fact that you pulled that out of your ass is impressive.
How did you remember that?
Yeah, I watched a lot of Lion King, but I don't remember this shit.
All right, you can cut it now.
Is this from the series?
No, this is before the movie, back when they would do like little snippets, like how...
Okay, so it's not actually from the movie.
No, it's on the VHS. It's like either before or after the coming attractions.
Okay, well that's why we were shitting on you. It's not from the actual.
Oh, you
movie.
can't take
I was
back
like,
what you
I
said.
do
I
not.
was right.
I do
You were
not
wrong.
remember.
Fuck
That was
yourself.
not in the fucking movie.
You're gonna fucking take back? No.
Well,
I-
okay.
I applaud Freddie for even knowing
yeah.
that exists.
I do
impressive.
too. I do
I'm
too.
clapping, but you can't hear it very well
Yeah,
because
'cause
you know my arm
one
was
arm.
destroyed.
Well, it's muffled.
Well, while we're talking
snap.
about movies, especially about Disney movies, we'll move on. Guess what movie I saw this week?
Fast and the Furious.
You're wrong. That's not a Disney movie. Toy Story 4.
You saw that?
I did.
Was it good?
Yeah, it just came out not too long ago. Yes, it was good. Are you guys Toy Story fans? Have you guys seen all the other Toy Story movies?
I like the
Like
first
the
one.
First one.
The first one?
Yeah.
The first one I think is the best. My wife thinks the third one's the best.
Really?
The third one was really good. It pulls a lot of heartstrings. Toy Story 4 is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
The advertisements that are posted all over the area, you know, there's billboards everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
they
Do you
look
mean
pretty
the
dark.
Chucky advertisements?
No, it's pretty much the same thing,
I
man.
want to see
Same
that
thing.
shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing in this one because there's these like horde of like evil ventriloquist dummies that are in this antique shop, like chasing them, like stumbling around. Like, it's not a spoiler. It's just letting you know what's. I'm not giving anything
Stop
away with it.
spoiling.
There's
That is a bit of a
ventriloquist
spoiler.
dummies that's gonna fucking give you nightmares in it. Let's just put that. Any kid that sees that is gonna freak the fuck out.
Is it kind of almost like Poltergeist? That kind of
Kinda,
red
yeah.
shit-
Is it-
scary shitty
They're
doll.
like-
Is it kind
Yeah.
of like Slappy from Goosebumps?
Yeah, kind of.
I think
It's
his name was Slappy.
okay. It would have been better if they like had like but they have those weird like 360-degree head turns, and then they have like the weird stumble walk that just is like it adds that like weird. Like if they were just okay, they're toys that talk like, hey, we do this. It would have been a little bit better. But they are some creepy fucking
and this is a
dummies.
Disney Child's movie.
Listen.
This is
I
Toy
mean,
Story 4. Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anything in Toy Story 4 because you know what's in Toy Story 4?
What?
Keanu Reeves, and he always
Keanu
makes
Reeves.
it.
Okay, that is one of the best. Let me talk about Keanu Reeves in Toy Story 4 real quick.
Don't
He
give
plays.
anything away.
Do not ruin the movie.
No,
for
I'm
me.
not ruining anything. There's a character in Toy Story 4. This isn't giving anything away to the story. I'm not spoiling it, but this is going to give more reason to go see it. Do you remember those? What are they called? The Evil Knievel
Evil Knievel,
toys?
yeah.
The little Evil Knievel toys you had that you had to pump up and like the little bike.
I
and
mean,
then
I don't think we had them.
I had
those
it.
were
I
old.
had one when I was a little kid.
I'm old.
I crashed it into the garage a lot. But you pump up and do it. They had one of those, but they had like a Canadian version of it. So, and it was played by Keanu Reeves, and it was defective. Like the commercial is like, it can soar over your house. And this one, like the kid shows the kid like doing it, and it just crashes like a foot after it gets deployed. But it's such a fucking dope character, and such a good reason to go see it. So Keanu Reeves, I mean, he can make any movie interesting, not necessarily good. But I'm
Hey.
not saying Toy Story 4 is amazing. It's good. It doesn't pull the heartstrings like all the other Toy Story
Well,
movies
the
do.
third one had that moment
The
where all
huge
the
moment.
toys. You
That's a
guys said you
spoiler.
didn't
He's given a spoiler
no,
more than I did.
I think,
mean, if you haven't
I think
seen
you can
Toy Story
spoil it
3,
because
but-
I don't give two shits.
Yeah, this is the third movie. It's been out for what, like a year or two.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm pretty sure it's been out for like 5 years.
no, not the third one. The
Yes,
third one's
yeah.
been recent.
I think he's right. Actually, I think
I
it's been
think
like
years?
5
No
years.
way.
Yeah.
Probably over
We're looking
5
it up.
years.
No way.
Yeah. I bet you. I guarantee you, it's something
2010.
More than
Wow.
5 years.
So
Wow.
9 years.
9
You're not spoiling shit for anybody.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
give
If
us
you
a
haven't seen it,
I dare
fuck
a
you.
motherfucker to fucking call spoilers.
If you
on
haven't
this.
seen it, there is a part in that movie where all the toys, like they're
Except death?
struggling, and then they realize that there's nothing they can do, and they all accept their death.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
look
yeah.
at each other, and they kind of like have this moment, like, this is it, guys. We're all about to be
Yeah.
melted.
What the fuck?
And then they
Yeah.
all they kind of wiggle toward each other. They're all in
They
it's
chain link
it's a
arms.
garbage dump.
Yeah.
And they're like all the garbage just got ground up, and now it's going to this furnace
Yeah.
thing, and they're trying to get out, but you can't. It's too much.
So they all died?
No.
This is some
wait,
dark
That's
shit.
that's the spoiler
But
part.
this they are all like, we can't get out of here. This is it. This is our fate. And they kind of wiggle toward each other, and they all hold hands, and they just accept it, like we're about to die.
Yeah, it's the most
and here comes the
depressing
fire.
point in Disney history.
This is like the Velveteen Rabbit. Some graphic
right.
shit.
And then something happens. I'm not gonna say what. No, I'm gonna say what
yeah,
because it's 10 years ago.
It's
They
been
get
9 fucking
saved.
years. I'm not
We
going to
don't have
watch
to
it.
say how they get saved.
So the aliens from the first movie, do you remember from the Claw? The Claw.
Yeah.
Well, they were with them, but they went away earlier.
Okay.
They're at the garbage dump. They're in the crane.
Oh,
Using the
claw.
crane as
this
the
is
claw.
some sick
And
foreshadowing shit.
They pick all the toys up before they burn to death.
oh my god.
But it's this moment where like
Ah.
it's you think they're like it was such a fucking thing when I watched it for the first time. I was like, holy fuck, like
this is like full circle shit.
Kids watch this and they're like, wow, whoa,
yeah,
they're accepting their death.
it is the most depressing point in Disney history.
I'm glad I didn't pay $12 to go see that shit.
Oh no, it's
down hairs.
it is an incredible movie, and that's one of the reason why
Really?
it's one of my wife's favorite movies. But there's a couple other movies that I want to talk about besides from Disney. One of them, they've started. They're getting ready to start shooting a movie I have been anticipating for a very long time, and that movie is Space Jam 2.
Starring LeBron James.
Yeah,
LeBron
yeah.
James.
So who the fuck else do you think is going to end up doing it?
LeBron
If you're
James.
like, okay, who's the Michael Jordan of our time? Every single person in the world is going to say LeBron James. So of
LeBron.
course, he's the motherfucker doing it. This movie's going to be released of July of 2021. So that's 25 years after the original Space Jam.
That is depressing as fuck to hear you say 25 years.
Yeah, it's a
Is
long
that
time.
crazy?
I remember when that shit came out.
Is that crazy
Me
or
too.
what?
I think I
Space
saw it
Jam
in
was
theaters.
the first movie I saw in theaters. Yeah.
Really?
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 The first movie?
Yeah.
Were you
How old,
sheltered?
wait, how old are you now, Freddie?
29.
What?
Such a
I don't know what year it came out.
Such a young boy.
I was
Such a
probably
young
like
boy.
8 years old, 6,
Holy
something like
shit.
that.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing Space Jam.
Yeah, I was 6 years old when it came out.
I almost worked on this Space Jam.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing with your life? Why'd you turn that down?
No, I didn't turn it down.
You weren't
they,
good enough. Okay.
They already staffed up over there. I wasn't super proactive about getting that job, I guess. I don't know, but they've got people. But Steve Windle, who was
He's on it?
one of the assistant directors on Teen Wolf. I worked with him recently on Liza on Demand. He knows somebody
damn it,
who's
if you
working
bring
over
up
there.
Liza on Demand.
So he gave me that guy's email. I sent my stuff in, and then he's like, hey, check back with me on the 18th. I think I waited too many days after. And I was like, hey, just checking in. And they were all staffed up. They might bring me into like day play or whatever.
That'd
but
be fucking awesome.
It's probably mostly on a green screen.
So what? You can,
fucking Space Jam
you can
2,
help
bro.
wrangle Bugs Bunny and shit.
I'm assuming the rap gift is probably pretty cool.
It's got to be. It's gonna be
my
like a
God.
basketball
or like
with
a
yeah.
jersey. I'm assuming
Bro,
a
you
jersey.
missed out on a Space
Dude,
Jam
do
2
not
rap
get your
gift.
hopes up. You're just gonna get like a shitty visor,
Yeah.
or like
Oh, Bill was
She's
gonna
probably
get,
right.
yeah, or a T-shirt.
You'll get a hoodie. Yeah.
Day players don't get shit, dude.
No, day
Yeah.
players
Oh
don't
yeah.
get
If
shit.
I'm day playing, I'm
Day
not gonna
players
get
don't get
anything.
anything. But there's no word on it. No word on Michael Jordan yet. Whether he'll be making a return at it. I assume he would. Why would they do it without at least a
Well, 'cause
little
it's Michael
cameo?
Jordan, he
I
doesn't
mean, come
really
on,
give a
he's
shit.
he's got to be like a referee or some shit.
He's not doing. I haven't heard of him doing shit in years. Actually,
He doesn't
'cause
need
he
to.
He just owns
he doesn't really
teams and-
care.
He's probably enjoying his life. Well, he did that Haynes commercial a while ago where he's
Oh,
on
that's
an
right. I
airplane with the
remember that,
Hitler.
yeah.
Also owns Air Jordan.
But like,
yeah, he's in the shoe
billionaire.
company and stuff.
do you guys remember he did the Haynes commercial where he's on the airplane with the Hitler mustache?
Yeah.
And then there was a big uproar, and then I think they refilmed it where he shaved it.
thought that was a good idea?
Nick, can you look up the Hitler mustache, Michael Jordan?
Look this up real quick.
Sometimes you work on these shows and you don't understand who's doing the pitch.
No, but there's no people from, or there's a bunch of people that from the NWA and from the NBA that are going to be in this and have already confirmed with it. They're shooting it in the
Oh
NBA
shit,
off
you
season.
are straight up.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was
To be
like it was
fair-
a, it was
And
a,
someone thought that was a good idea.
Well,
it was
to
a
be
Haynes
fair,
commercial.
The only person that could bring it back was Michael Jordan in his heyday.
These
Yeah.
are true statements, but
Hey,
Yeah, it's an
Hey.
interesting thing.
day.
So yeah, that's something that's going to happen. We'll try to keep you updated on that. Another movie that I'm really fucking excited about, by one of my favorite directors in the world. Jay and Silent Bob reboot that just finished shooting is in post productions. The supposed to be a trailer coming out soon. I know Freddie's a Jay and Silent Bob fan. Anybody
Oh, yeah.
else? Anybody else? Kevin Smith fan?
oh yeah,
Well, I'm from New
Clerks?
Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
yeah. Clerks
Be-
2 was awesome
Amazing.
with the dance sequence.
Being from New Jersey and like when I was a kid, that was like the first movie like Clerks
Yeah.
being filmed in like Red Bank.
Red Bank,
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Red
was like
Bank,
the
New Jersey, $26,000, maxed out a bunch of credit cards.
I remember
Made his, yeah.
I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was like probably fourth grade when Mallrats came out, and I saw Mallrats first, and then I found out about Clerks, and I was like, wow, this is in Red Bank. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking like, wow, fuck, like this is the first time I watched something that was like filmed in Jersey, at like knowing that it was filmed in Jersey.
Yeah.
And,
my brother was lucky enough to do one of his podcast episodes in the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash in Red Bank.
I've been there a bunch of times.
I want to go so bad. But anyways, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Have you guys seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been Kevin Smith's
The unwritten rules of the road.
The Unwritten Rules of the Road. Man. This is Kevin Smith's first movie since I want to say Yoga Hosers, right? Do you have anything?
I did
after
not
that?
see that.
I think it
Yeah, I
is.
think it's
It is.
Yoga Hosers.
It's Yoga Hosers, and then what he had before that was Tusk, the Walrus movie.
I didn't watch that either.
Yeah, and then
Is that like Teen Wolf, but he turns into a walrus?
it's about a guy that kidnaps people in Canada and then transforms them into walruses because of a love affair that he had way years ago where he was stranded on an island and he had with a walrus.
Weird.
What the fuck?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
it's
not-
fucking weird.
And this is honestly why none of us will ever be unemployed
Oh,
in the
Moose
industry.
Jaw.
That's exactly.
There are
well,
so many weird ideas and pitches out there.
That's what I
You want
was
to know
trying
the
to think
you
of,
want it? Yeah, Moose
was
Jaws
Moose
didn't
Jaws.
get made though. I think the budget for that fell through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know all things Kevin Smith clearly. But Tusk was made actually because it was an idea that was just brought up on a podcast. They were just pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, like people will fund anything in Hollywood now. I could make a movie tomorrow about this guy that's had a love affair with a walrus."
It was
or
a
the-"
news story they were reading. They were reading a news story about a guy who's offering free rent if a man offered to dress up as a walrus for 12 hours a day or whatever.
Yeah,
What the
because he was a
12
sailor.
12 hours a day is
yeah.
a lot of hours a day.
So much you work.
Yeah.
That's
And-
basically
yeah.
you're awake, you're a walrus.
yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody who was listening with a lot of money or producer or whatever is like, I'll pay you to make that movie. And he's like, okay.
It's almost like a double dare. Like,
yeah.
this sounds stupid, but we're gonna dare you to do this shit,
Right.
and I'm gonna back it.
Well, there
Right.
was also a social media campaign. If at the end of the episode, he said, if you want to see Tusk, or if you want to see the Walrus movie, hashtag Walrus yes.
Hashtag well.
And
You know,
he
they'll
got a
make
shit ton of hashtags.
They'll make films out of anything. I mean,
They will.
even back in the 30s, there was a movie made that was called The Terror of Tiny Town, and it's an all little person movie, an all little person western.
Really?
The Terror of Tiny Town, and the best thing is, he's looking it up right
Yeah,
now.
please.
On the back of this
Oh,
the DVD
yes.
jacket, it's the best movie to watch when you are highly fucked up.
Look at this cover art.
It
Yeah, bring
is-
that up.
It is amazing. On the back of the DVD, it actually says that there was a sequel planned, and the sequel was called Hang 'Em Not So High.
Oh my god.
And it never saw the light of day. And this
Well,
was
yeah.
like in the 30s. These were the same people the same little
Wizard
people
of
that
Oz.
worked on The Wizard of Oz.
Whoa.
And it's literally little people riding on Shetland ponies, drinking schooners that are the size of their fucking heads.
Oh my god.
It is the most magical thing you will ever watch while you're fucked up.
But anyways, Kevin Smith, he did Red State, which was amazing, and people thought he could do horror movies, and they started like, hey, make a movie about this. So he kind of went through a weird little transition. I love all the movies. Love is the wrong
Yoga
word.
Hosers. We
Love is the
don't
wrong
like
word.
Yoga.
I'm entertained by most of them. I like Yoga Hosers more than I like Jersey Girl, so I'll give
To
it
be
that.
fair, Yoga Hosers is not made for us. I feel like it's specifically
Yeah.
made for teen girls.
But this
I
movie,
never watched Jersey Girl.
it sucks.
I don't
Jay and
think you lost.
No, Jay and Silent Bob reboot though is going to be the first thing. It's the revival of Jay and Silent Bob.
It's
First
a
of all,
revival of that world. He hasn't been in that world in a
no,
while.
and Kevin,
Well,
The Clerks universe.
it's been Clerks. Clerks 2 has
2.
been the last time Jay and Silent Bob has
mean,
been around.
I'm kind of hoping they do another choreographed dance sequence like they did in Clerks 2 because that was epic.
Yeah.
well, what?
No, Dogma.
Dogma's
Clerks
in
2
the-
was after Dogma.
Yeah, it was.
Dogma was
Yeah.
like 96,
Dog-
99.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, Dogma was old
Such a good
because
movie.
Dogma was the last one that I owned on VHS.
I feel
Yeah.
like it was Mallrats, then Dogma, and then
I think there was one in between.
Like
Chasing
10 years later.
Amy
Yes.
was before Dogma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Jason Mewes has been out of the loop for a while. He struggled a lot with drug addiction. Drug addiction and stuff.
That was a while ago though.
Yeah, but he's
Everybody falls down.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's
I've
probably at like he must
struggled
be at
with
like 5 years sober by now.
depression. and
Good for
shit.
him.
Yeah. So he's
Oh,
yeah,
it's more
he's
than 5
doing-
years. It's like
He's
10 years.
fine.
It's
Yeah,
like
'cause
it's like
I-
10 years.
I think that was the whole thing with
Yeah.
Clerks 2 was Kevin
Yeah.
Smith didn't want to make it until he got
Jason
better.
was-
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys are right.
And
it's
he's
been like
doing
it's
very well. I heard.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard.
been
That's
like 10
good.
years. He's married. He has a kid now. But anyways, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It's the trailer's gonna air at Comic-Con this year. I'm so excited for it.
I'm hoping
my
we'll be
favorite,
down there. We won't be in for it, but I want to go down and just check out the outside festivities.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll interview some people.
It's
We'll see.
obviously, like the nerd mecca I've always wanted to
Hell
go.
yeah.
Comic-Con?
Kevin Smith. Kevin
Yeah.
Smith says
San Diego specifically.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kevin Smith says though, pretty much when describing the movie, he says, "Well, it's pretty much the same fucking movie." It's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the premise that he set for it. It's a movie that what they're doing. Hollywood is making a reboot of the Jay and Silent Bob movie that they made, or Blunt Man and Chronic that they made back in the day, which was the original movie. But they're making a reboot of it, and Jay and Silent Bob get pissed and go back to Hollywood to fight the producers doing reboot.
Oh, Jesus.
So in the description, it's pretty much the same fucking movie.
So it's a movie within a movie, it sounds like.
I will absolutely see this movie within a movie.
Oh, I'll be there opening day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited for this, so it's going to go good. Another show I want to talk to about. I started getting a lot more into this week. I think our internet went down, so I was without Netflix or Hulu when I wanted to
Yeah.
watch some movies
I walked
or TV.
in the living room and Mikey had a gun to his head, and I was like, "Whoa, Put that away.
Which is a little bit weird. Yeah,
It's just a prop.
yeah, which is weird because I have a bookcase with over 700 DVDs and movies and TV shows. So I had to turn to the bookcase, and one thing that really kind of stuck out that I hadn't seen in over 20 years, definitely, was Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I pulled Are You Afraid of the Dark out. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
For you younger listeners, you may not know what Are You Afraid of the Dark is. It was a Nickelodeon show when we were younger where a bunch of kids would get together around a campfire and tell tell a scary story, and then it would go into the episode, and the episode would be the story that the kid is telling.
They'd throw shit in the fire and it would go
Mm-hmm.
and then it'd
we
start.
went over this. The shit was non-dairy creamer.
Yes, it was non-dairy creamer that they threw in. Which is also used as cocaine in films. So, anyways, my point is, I think I specifically started watching season 2, and I realized very quick. Like I said, I haven't seen it in like 20 years. These episodes, I think I watched like 4 or 5. They're very hit or miss. Some of them don't quite hold up. So the premise of this one is she goes to new school and she's given like this locker for some reason in like a storage shed.
All the lockers are filled up, so they have to assign her a locker that nobody's used in years.
And there's like this old thing, but she finds a necklace in it, and when she puts on the necklace, she gets zapped back to the 60s and is for some reason in with a bunch of hippie crowd or
That's
whatever.
where Nick can add a little sound effect. Zap. Zip up.
Yeah, so I want just check out the acting and
I'm digging the soundtrack.
oh yeah, soundtrack was always great.
Yeah, mystical.
Yeah, so now she's in the 60s.
Shit.
Yeah. Everybody's
Why is
stoned as
nobody?
shit.
Yeah, why is nobody smoking a blunt?
There would
high school.
at least be one person smoking a cigarette in
There
that
should,
hallway.
yeah, there should be some kind of haze.
Like boss.
This part.
Wait a minute. These are just 90s kids dressed like 60s kids.
Yeah, that's just a juggalo getting ready to go to a show.
Yeah.
And apparently hippies back then, like, they get, if you bump into their face, they get really close to you and they're like, hey, be cool. And they all arch like sideways for some reason.
His eyes were not open.
That's because they're.
Oh,
I'm pretty
Just
sure a
full
lot of those
fucking-
high school kids were practicing their method acting on this one.
Yeah.
That dude looked high as fuck.
Did you say meth acting?
meth acting. They looked high as fuck, but they kind of just like, oh yeah, the 60s is just everybody that everybody just got stoned, and then we're hippies and
Funny
terrible
thing
actors.
about Are You Afraid of the Dark though? Is
You want to know another good thing about Are You Afraid of the Dark? They're reviving it.
they're doing a movie, right? Is it a movie?
There's a revival coming out. I believe it was coming in October. Actually, it's coming out this year in October. They're coming out. It's kind of like a mini series. So they're doing full episodes.
Mm-hmm. With the original Midnight Society, I think, right?
Really? I don't think I saw that. Maybe right. That'd be really cool.
I think so. Or at least I'm sure they'll guest.
Oh man, that'd be kind of weird though. A bunch of like 30, like mid 30s dudes coming with the girls and stuff coming around the fire and be like, all right, we snuck out from our parents' house. This is the Midnight Society.
My wife drank herself into a fucking coma, so I snuck out.
Yeah, I still have this 25-year-old bag of
Weed.
of weed and non-dairy creamer or whatever to throw in them.
I brought the weed and the non-dairy cream.
It's gonna be a party.
It's gonna be a party, but no, they're doing 3 1-hour-long episodes. So it's
rad.
pretty much like mini movies.
Wow.
And they're gonna bust them out, and it'll be interesting
Wait,
to see.
who's busting them out?
Nickelodeon,
Oh, okay.
still done by Nickelodeon. So, so we'll keep up with that.
The funny thing about Nickelodeon
What is funny thing
Or
about
Are You
Nickelodeon?
Afraid of the Dark? I mean, Ryan Gosling was actually in one of the episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark as a child.
Ryan Gosling was?
Yeah, he was in an episode called Station like 99 or
Dude,
something like that.
So was like Justin Long, and there's that. I was going through the IMDb of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I was passing through, and there were some huge actors there
Yeah, I love
for like little bit one parts.
I love hearing like just small actor or major movie stars like in small ass movies that they did before. So I threw together a little list here.
You got a list.
Yeah.
I gave him a notebook, and I think this is the first episode he's ever actually written in it.
Well, you gave me a notebook last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, well, and Snake Bitch, Snake Bitch. You notice there's a notebook in front of you too.
I do.
I gave them notebooks to like take notes. I kind of put one in front of you, knowing that you guys can't really. But I just wanted you, the guests, to fit in.
I usually
I feel
just
welcome.
doodle.
Do you
in
feel
mine.
well?
I didn't know I was allowed to touch the notebook.
Yeah, that's your notebook. You can touch it.
That's fantastic.
I don't know what you write in it, but Bill draws pictures in his notebook sometimes. So that's
Usually,
it.
yeah.
But I
Okay.
want to get back to this list. So
Yeah, so I got a list here. There some bigger movies would be, Kevin Bacon in Friday the 13th, Johnny Depp, Nightmare on Elm Street.
And wait, these are all the actors that were in
In the
Are You Afraid of the
originals?
Dark?
No, Kevin
I'm
Bacon.
literally naming the movies after their fucking name.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah, I guess
Are
that
you?
makes
What are you saying here? Kevin Bacon was in old Friday the 13th.
Yes, the original.
Yeah. Is
We're
that what
talking
this
about
is?
movie stars that were in horror movies.
Oh, not
yeah.
necessarily. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Kevin Bacon was also in Tremors.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
Continue.
I'm doing a fucking bit here, guys.
Is the blob on that list?
No, I don't have the blob.
Oh, what the
Freddie
fuck?
knows how we feel
Grow
now.
up.
He
Who was
just
in the blob?
trashes on our bits.
I kind of want to say the chick from the Saw movies. I think she was. I don't know. There were some names
the
from
original?
the blob.
Wait, do you have Gary Busey on that list?
No.
Ah.
I don't have Gary Busey.
Bill's deep throat in the mic.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, it is. It's the chick from Shawnee, whatever her name is. Yeah, her. She's
Yeah,
in.
Shawnee Swanee.
Yeah,
Shawnee
she's in Saw.
Shawnee Smith.
So I did not name every actor that's ever existed and what their first movie was.
Well, you better.
I put together a little list here.
Okay, continue.
Let's hear it.
So I said Kevin Bacon,
Yep.
Friday the 13th, Johnny Depp, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jennifer Aniston, Leprechaun. She was in the original Leprechaun. But those are very well-known ones, but we do have some lesser-known ones. One of my favorite movies, Elijah Wood, was in a movie called The Faculty.
Oh yeah, duh.
I love The Faculty.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Jessica Alba, Idle Hands, another one of my favorite
Oh,
movies.
that's a good one.
But let's get real deep now.
Okay,
we
let's
got,
get to it.
We got Vigo Mortensen in Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, 1990. Renee Zellweger, Return of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also starring Matthew McConaughey, 1994. Jack Black was in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Whoa. That was a movie?
Yeah. That's the second one. Yeah, the sequel.
Oh, right. Jack Black.
But what
was in
about
that?
Jack Black in Airborne? You remember the Airborne?
Was that a horror movie? I didn't see
No.
it. If it
No,
was.
Airborne.
Jack Black was, yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
talking about
Also
horror
in-
movies. You can't be bringing up
All right,
other
all right.
Jack Black movies.
We'll go back.
No, he was also in The Never-Ending Story, the
What?
second one. No way. The sequel. He
He
played
was?
the bully, yeah.
What a dick.
He was a dick in that one. Scarlett Johansson was in Eight-Legged Freaks with David Arquette. A recent one that really surprised me, Chris Hemsworth played the jock in Cabin in the Woods.
The original Cabin in the Woods, right?
The only Cabin in the Woods.
Clabbin
There's
in the
two.
Bloods.
Is there?
Yeah, the bunny one
The bunny one?
by your favorite director.
That's Cabin Fever, Doc.
What about Cabin
touche.
Boy?
Touche.
Cabin Fever, the original Cabin Fever starred Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World.
Damn, you know your horror movie history.
I know actors' names.
In another episode, you said you were watching Boy Meets World. Because of
I watch it. I
Topanga.
watch old series a lot. I've seen the entire series of Are You Afraid of the Dark within the last 2 years.
You're
What about
saying you
Pete-
fall asleep to it.
What
right?
about Pete and Pete?
Oh
Pete
yeah.
and Pete. Before I moved out of New Hampshire, I had the first 2 seasons on DVD. But
It looks like Nick is telling us to drink out of a lake.
very
I
quickly.
thought he was trying to do a paddleboard.
So anyway,
Surf's
he'd be
up to you
kicking.
too, Nick.
I got a couple more. Adam Scott was in Hellraiser Bloodline. Adam Scott, of course, from Parks and Recreation.
Oh yeah, I worked with him on a promo for Ghosted.
I think it is
Oh, yeah,
Ghosted.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Ghosted
Yeah,
is
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, me and
Is
a
that an
friend of
Amazon
mine.
Prime show?
No, I think it was on
I think
some
Fox,
network.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I just watched it.
Me and a
on
friend,
Amazon Prime.
we had to make a bunch of alien eggs for the promo.
Oh,
That
no.
sounds like Ghosted.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron was in Children of the Corn 3.
Wow, Children of the
Whoa.
Corn.
She
I
was
forgot
also
about
in
that.
Devil's Advocate movie with
Ah.
Keanu. Wait, was it
Keanu Reeves, I think, was in there.
Keanu Reeves
yeah.
makes it
yeah.
into
Bringing it back full
everything,
circle.
man.
Everything goes.
Everything goes back to Keanu Reeves. We've talked about Keanu Reeves on every single fucking episode.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think we
Bill and
have.
Ted's Excellent Adventure never ends.
he finds a way to make it
friend of
back
mine
in.
just had an audition to be one of their daughters in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I still got a couple more. Kit Harington. Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Silent Hill Revelation.
What? They made more Silent Hill movies?
there was a second one, yeah, but it was made by different people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like the other
With Kit
director.
was it done in like in
I
England?
like that you like the original Silent Hill so much. When you heard about the second Silent Hill, you were like, "Is this made by the same people?" No, it's not.
It's not watching.
I refuse to watch it.
I really like the original Silent Hill movie, except for the girl who played the daughter. I feel like she played the character too young for how she looked. She was like, "Mommy," but she was like at least
yeah, she was
13 or something. She was 15.
Oh, I have no idea. She looked fucking 15.
Yeah, like she was playing
She
it
had
way
a
too young.
mustache, dude.
However, when she was like, yeah, she had a mustache. She had a small business.
So yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I got Brad Pitt here in a movie I've never even fucking heard of. So I looked up the trailer. Have not watched it yet. I'm hoping it's horrible.
Do tell.
It's called Cutting Class, 1989. A horror movie called Cutting Class.
This might have been from the time he was still dressing up as a chicken.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, dude, like one of his
To
first
masturbate?
jobs
Or-
was like
Oh, it was a job.
like a
like
mascot.
what?
Yeah.
I thought he could only get off by dressing like a chicken.
At least that's what I fucking heard. I don't know. I
This
heard one
is
of his
my
first jobs was as a
So,
mascot, like a chicken mascot.
So let's see it.
Let's take
Yeah.
a look at this trailer. Cutting
All right,
Class.
Cutting Class.
Maybe not even starring
It was
Brad Pitt.
just another ordinary, dull, and boring
That
semester
looks
at
like a
Warley
Brad
High.
Pitt.
Attention, faculty.
Oh
and
my
students. This is Mr. Dennis.
Attention, faculty and students.
As of today,
Oh, no.
suspend.
He wasn't even. Oh,
So that's
yep,
Brad
that's
Pitt.
Brad.
Yeah, that's Brad.
That is definitely Brad.
Not until
Oh.
your grades improve.
Yep.
Who's the
And the
girl?
teachers
This.
were insane.
Oh man, yeah, he was.
Wait a minute. This is like right before
What
Thelma and
was
Louise.
going
Yeah, he's like a regular young '90s guy.
Yeah, this was what 89, and when was
Gotta
Thelma and
be.
Louise?
Ever.
Thelma and Louise.
I'm gonna say 92.
By the way, Frankenstein.
What's up with Frankenstein staring?
Get shocked every day he was in the hospital. Every single day. How
Yeah,
could they do that to
it's
him?
a baby's voice.
I like you, Paula. I really do.
Leave Paula and me.
Okay, so it's like a thriller, serial killer type
Yeah,
of
it
thing.
looks creepy as fuck.
Try.
Thelma and Louise was 91. So it's 2 years before.
The audio on this is absolute shit.
Yeah.
Nick's probably fucking losing his mind.
It was the 90s,
It
yeah.
was the 80s.
Yeah.
It's the age of terrible acting and terrible audio, terrible everything. We've come a long way.
Did he just ask a dog if
Just-
he understands?
Was that Mr. Feeney?
Or a murder
No.
in disguise.
This is a magical thing.
I will put money on
Oh,
it.
boobs.
That was Mr. Feeney.
Oh, you couldn't get fucking funding if you
Oh.
didn't show tits in the 80s.
Did they have a? Did everything show tits in the 80s?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, in the horror genre.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, look, that's
horror.
Mr. Feeney. Did you
Brad
see him?
Pitt,
No, I missed it.
Roddy McDowell, and Martin Mull.
On the floor.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You just
This trailer is
know.
everything I wanted from a trailer.
okay. Cutting
I think
class.
I actually slightly remember watching this.
You've seen it.
I think so. It's been years. My dad and I used to, when my mom would go out of town, my
Look.
dad was in charge of babysitting.
Is that Mr. Feeney?
That is Mr. Feeney.
Is Mr. Feeney? Yeah.
But
Alright.
no, we would always watch horror movies, and like the shittier the better.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you could get at the local video store.
And luckily,
And
that
I,
was one
I
of 'em.
remember, I remember a horrible high school one just like that.
was it that one?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna be coming up on that. I have one more. I have a news story I want to talk about before we finish up here, and it's another thing about Jersey. Man, Jersey is really fitting into this episode a lot. Jersey is being terrorized by 100 strong gangs of feral chickens. And they're waking up locals. People are getting very angry about that, but they're also like chasing joggers and stuff like that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, I read this article. It's Jersey, as in like England Jersey, not New Jersey.
Oh yeah, I just see UK on the top.
But apparently, Jersey in England is just as trashy.
It would mean if they have gangs of chickens, everybody chasing joggers.
Just wearing fucking leather jackets.
There's one.
Yeah, there's-
Hey, bruv! Why'd the chicken cross the road to kick your fucking ass, bruv?
So there's 100 gangs of chickens. It's not a gang of 100 chickens.
I don't know. This article, it says
Terrorized by
100 strong
gangs
gangs.
of feral chickens.
Oh, they're benching. They're
Is it
doing
a
reps.
Waking up
union?
locals and chasing joggers.
These are yoked chickens.
Oh, if you get deeper into the article, it also goes into they're damaging gardens, which people are getting very pissed off about it.
Fucking A.
So that's why, dude, and it gets pretty deep. There's a full article on this.
Let the chickens do what they want.
Are they at least giving some eggs? Like leaving eggs behind? Or is it just they're causing shit?
I think that would be.
it's like a peace offering.
Yeah,
I'll
I think
fuck up
that.
your garden, but I'll drop an egg.
Yeah, I think that would be
mean,
a little bit better.
If you compare what these chickens do to people from what we've done to chickens, I think these guys are okay. Like, we literally enslaved their entire race so they
Well-
could produce meat and eggs for us.
Yeah.
It says, like, the article says in quotes, we are in a situation where we've got animal lovers on one hand and where we've got those who are experienced in the nuisancing on the other. I can't pretend to sit here and say I have an answer to that.
Just let them fuck people up for a while, you know? Rough up those joggers.
So that's pretty much breaking it down. It's we have one side here that just wants to shoot and kill all these chickens, and then we have PETA on this side that just wants to
hug them.
Yeah, we'll release them on their
know.
own island of chickens.
If they're terrorizing joggers, if you're a jogger and you're not fit enough to get away from a chicken, maybe you're not doing it right.
You know they
like
do
they're
fly, right?
terrorizing
They're like
joggers.
fucking ninja chickens.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Chickens?
Chickens are brutal.
have you ever-
Speaking of chickens, have I got a story to tell you?
Oh shit!
So, I was jogging, at the time.
Were you being terrorized by a chicken?
Let me get to the fucking story. I was jogging, trying to stay fit, trying to stay active. And, I'd go out in the morning and there'd be a little mist,
Little fog?
a little rolling in.
Yeah.
Just I'd have my headphones on, my Beats.
Your beat like you have full headphones, not earbuds.
Oh yeah,
It's full.
No. Noise
Those-
canceling.
Are those easy to run in?
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they be?
Because they're just bulky ass fucking headphones.
Yeah,
they're like the headphones you're
strap
wearing
down
right
pretty
now.
good to your head.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, back to my story before I was rudely interrupted.
Shit.
So I'm jogging along, and where was I? What part of the city was I in? Silver Lake. I was jogging around the lake in Silver Lake.
Yeah, that concrete jungle.
No, the lake that's there.
Is Silver Lake an actual thing yet? Is it?
I don't know.
They have a lake.
Is there
Have
really
they
a lake
filled
in
it
Silver Lake? I know.
I've seen a concrete flat point, but
Is it just a pond? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a little pond.
Echo Park, I think, is what you're thinking of.
Oh, it might have been Echo Park.
Echo
then.
Lake, yeah.
There were a lot of hipsters before I entered the trail, so
yeah, makes sense.
Silver Lake or Echo Park.
It sounds
doesn't
like
matter.
Echo Park, yeah.
Yeah.
All I know about Silver Lake is Silver Lake ramen, and it's delicious.
Thank you, Bill. Back to Freddie.
Fuck, now I want ramen. Can we get ramen after this?
That's not part of the story.
Anyway, so I'm jogging around this little pond, lake, whatever you want to call it. And I get a feeling, because I have the noise cancel, so I can't hear anything. So I turn around, and there's a bobcat behind me.
What? Mm-hmm. Was Snake Bitch there?
No, she was not.
I was not invited on this jog. I don't jog. I only jog towards crafty and catering and second meal.
And if anybody asks if you want to go for a jog in Echo
Especially
Park,
when the grilled cheese truck shows up, then I fucking sprint.
yeah.
So I instantly drop down to the ground. I start playing dead. He comes up to me, starts sniffing. At that point, I take the opportunity to wrap my legs around his throat.
Okay?
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, how the fuck did this go?
Okay.
Magi.
Real quick. Let's talk. We have an expert here, luckily. If a bobcat comes up behind you, is the right protocol to play dead?
No. Not at all. No.
Well, I want him to approach me.
Okay.
I'm ready.
And then you
And willing.
choked hold him. You grabbed him with your legs.
Yes.
And his mouth was near your nether regions.
No, they were on the backside.
This is the hottest story I heard all day.
I'm just saying, this does not sound good.
Yeah.
And
I want to.
anyway, so I grab his paw. I get him to the ground. I
You grabbed his dad?
Hold on.
sweep
What
his
about his
legs with my
talons?
hands. if
Were
you
there
will.
mushrooms involved? Did you eat something before you went on this jog?
Listen, in a couple months, hopefully I can admit to what I was eating before I took this job.
I'm just gonna say, shit happens. No judgment.
So anyway, I'm strangling this bobcat, Goldwaith, and he's trying to struggle. So I grab his legs and I snap him. I snap the legs, and I'm just holding on for dear life, letting this sweet creature, its life, slip between my legs. And he stops moving, and I released it, and I checked for a pulse. He was still alive when I left him. I did not take the creature's life, as I very well could have.
That's very respectful of you, Freddie.
I left him there,
Yeah.
and I got myself out of the situation, but I did not take a life, which I refused to do.
Well done, man.
That is
Majestic creature. that
truly
is a
amazing.
bobcat.
Because I've gotten my ass kicked by a 4-pound house cat. So
Oh, with my
man.
many years of martial arts training and just
did you
knowledge
like
and
pull
know-how.
like a Ronda
Ronda Rousey. Yeah.
No,
Ronda Rousey.
it's actually a technique I invented myself.
What do you call it?
The bobcat grip.
The diamond dick grip.
It was not invented at the time I used it. I coined it afterwards.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for
Next
that.
time I'll have to
Freddie.
tell you about the time I put a grizzly in a figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah, Freddie. Let's save that one for
Okay.
next episode.
Yeah, we'll save that one.
We'll save that one. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for coming in and Snake Bitch and talking
yeah.
with us. It's been super fun. If any of our viewers want to find you or anything, you don't have to give out anything. But
Oh no, dude! You can find me at the local bar. I have no social media. In fact,
Great.
I'd like to say thank you to Camille. She was my bartender first, my friend second,
go.
and it's because of her, my bartender and friend, that I'm here.
Yeah, so
gonna
shout
see
out to
you
Camille.
We gonna see you at Burgies sometime?
I have gone to Burgies.
Yeah.
although I usually try and only go when Sarah's working. She's one of the bartenders, blonde chick.
Ah,
You,
she a pretty
if you-
figure right there.
Yeah, Sarah's pretty fucking killer.
Awesome.
She's awesome. But yeah,
say.
Burgies, Chewy's, and Schoonerville. If the
Where's
mood is-
Schoonerville?
it's right across the street from the hipster place Schooners.
Oh.
Schoonerville is like where your grandpa drinks.
Oh,
So standards are
okay.
even lower, but it's a
Yeah.
fun bar.
Burgie's my spot.
And
I was
a
there
little
last
cheaper,
night.
I
It was
would
awesome.
imagine, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much cheaper. Standards lower, prices are lower too. So, but Chewy's is definitely one of my favorite places.
Standards lower is my type of bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so
No,
much
thank
for
you
coming.
guys for having
It's
me
been
on.
great. If you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook at Failing Hollywood Podcast. We're also on Instagram at Failing Hollywood. We have a site on Podbean, failinghollywood.podbean.com. We also have a phone number. Freddie, do you want to help us out with this one?
Yeah, the phone number is 818-928-5379.
Wow, he didn't fuck up around.
818-928-5379.
That's a lot.
Wow.
A lot more boring than I thought it actually would have been. Yeah, he usually butchers that shit. But here's what you can do with that number. If you can call, you can text us. You text us anything you want. Text us some good stories. Text us whatever. But the really way to get to our heart is to call and leave a message. If you leave a message, there's a chance we'll show you on the podcast.
Or
Do that
show
all.
up and bring booze.
Why isn't Nick kissing your ear right now?
Nick always kisses
Or
my
if
ears,
you
man.
really
It's like
want
a cute
to,
little prom picture.
you can
right
video
there.
yourself telling your story and email it to failinghollywood
You almost
at
wonder who was like wearing
gmail.com.
the corset in that one.
What's your company? You have a company?
I work for the studios. I have a website.
Yeah, what's that?
RealSnakeWranglers.com.
RealSnakeWranglers.com.
Yeah, but
That's where to go
Snake
if they
bitch.
want to hire Snake Bitch.
yeah, fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Hire her, keep her employed. It's been slow in Hollywood lately. We want to make sure we're
Yeah.
all working.
It's about to
We'll put all the
explode
information in the
Hollywood.
description of the podcast
Oh,
as well.
fucking absolutely. So call that number, leave a message, leave us your fail story. We'll put you on the podcast. We're on Twitter also at Failing Hollywood.
The D did not fit. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
It was
we
too
don't have
long.
T was
D's.
long.
Yeah, we got our D cut off.
Yeah,
So.
somebody follow
Shit
us on
happens.
Twitter. I run the Twitter, and we've got no followers except for me. And
Are you guys gonna get $5 Knife Guy on?
Oh, she saw. We have a future wish list on,
I
and she's
know.
on.
We'll
We're
try.
working on it.
That's
He's another name. He's
know.
along with you.
I
Where's the
heard. I
thing?
heard you guys got distracted. You were like a fucking ping pong in a windstorm when you guys were talking about
drink a
$5
lot.
knives.
$5 knife. Oh, yeah.
That was
you heard that
impressive.
episode?
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, they're
Yeah.
talking about me, and then there's $5 Knife Guy. I cannot compete with
Honestly,
this guy.
No. Okay, you're a lot
The
more.
dude gives out fucking tasers. I can't compete with that shit. It's
all right.
like the fucking headset guy.
Yeah,
There's $5
yeah.
Knife Guy, and then there's the headset guy.
well, see,
And
You're a lot
happiness is
safer.
achieved.
You're a lot safer of a person to bring into my home to be able to interview.
He may
I don't
squat.
know much about him.
He may squat. I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
Like we come in a few days later and $5 Knife
I
Guy's
think
just
you
living
need to
on our
work on your
podcast
mobile
table.
podcast and
We're
go to
working on
him
it.
versus
Yeah.
having him come to
We'll
you.
We're
bring the
working on it.
podcast to
The-
him.
We'll bring the podcast van.
Honestly,
I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
want to fucking die from him.
Yeah.
No, it's not
I
in my pocket.
literally, because I'm in the stick so much, I don't get to
You don't
meet.
get it?
I
I'll
don't
give
get
you-
to-
I'll
I
give
don't-
you a
I don't get
$5
to
Knife
meet the
Guy knife.
$5
Get to
Knife
go
Guy.
to-
He's in concrete and asphalt. That scares
you
me.
know what? I'm gonna gift you a $5 Knife Guy knife just for coming onto the podcast,
shit.
and that'll be my parting ways gift to you. So yeah, hopefully we're still working a $5 Knife Guy. That's what this is putting on. Hopefully we'll have him in the future. we've been doing good. So I just want to also give a final shout out to the Plunge
I
Podcast.
just got snuffed off the list. This is fucked
Yeah,
up.
she
manifestation achieved.
yeah, it's a
I'll let
manifestation.
you guys pose with my passport. I brought that.
Yeah.
For shits and giggles.
So
Nice.
so we got her, but shout out to the Plunge Podcast, major starter of this podcast. Shout out to our graphic artist Seth, doing our beautiful stuff. Send us more awesome stuff. I can't pay you right now, but maybe in the future. Thank you again for
Probably not in the
thank you again for tuning in to Failing Hollywood. Until next week.
Bye, chumps.
Yeah.
Peace out, bitches.
Peace out.